Hooker to Miami. If that doesn't grab your attention, I don't know what I got to do here on today's show. Could Malik Hooker end up signing with the Miami Dolphins? So he visited Miami, the Dolphins, on Tuesday. Remember, the Colts, they decided to decline Hooker's fifth-year option. Now, this is one of those dudes who he is a very talented player. And since he was drafted in the first round, has actually been one of the safeties that I've liked a lot. The biggest issue is this. He can't stay healthy. Tore his Achilles in week 2 last season, and over his first 4 seasons in the NFL, listen to this stat, over his first 4 seasons in the NFL, he has missed 28 games. That is a lot of games. However, when you look at the Miami Dolphins, what they did in the draft, okay, you obviously took Jalen Waddle, round 1, pick number 6. Then you went Jalen Phillips. So, okay, offense, defense. Javon Holland, safety from Oregon. So you're like, wait a minute. If you already got Holland, why would you go out and get somebody like Malik Hooker? I'm a big believer that Holland's going to play in the nickel. They weren't too happy with the way that Noah Igbenogany played, who they drafted in the first round last year, and according to Pro Football Focus, was actually the worst cornerback in the entire league. So you go out and get Holland, which I agree with. However, realistically, all these other picks that you guys are going to see come up on screen, they don't really impact the defense all that much. I could sit here and tell you this. The Miami Dolphins, they had a top 5 defense last year. If you could figure out a way to go out and get a healthy Malik Hooker, I'm not afraid to say it, it might be the best defense in the entire league. For the simple facts of this, like, you got a lot of amazing players from top to bottom, where you got guys, like Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. That's the best cornerback duo in the entire league, and I don't really think too many people would bat too many eyes about that. I mean, you had Howard, he had over 10 interceptions, and then you had Byron Jones, who was another extremely solid player, and a lot of people didn't talk about him, but it's because not many teams wanted to throw to him, which is why I do think Howard got so many interceptions that he did. But if you want to talk about improving the secondary or just improving the defense in general, the one position that you could look at is safety. And if you're telling me right now I can add Malik Hooker and be able to bring him into this secondary right now, and he's fully healthy, I mean, if you're Miami, you missed the playoffs last year and you went 10-6. What's an easy way to try to make yourself better? You continue to be able to improve that secondary. And all I'm saying is this. If they get him and he's healthy, the Buffalo Bills, they better be worried. I know the New England Patriots, they went 7-9, but I also liked a lot of the moves that team ended up making here. So no disrespect to Eric Rowe. No disrespect to Bobby McCain. Those guys did a great job last year because nobody really expected them to step up. Nobody really expected them to play the way they did. But you know what? I actually was pretty impressed. No disrespect to those guys. I will take Malik Hooker every single day of the week over both of those players there. You also went out and added Justin Coleman. So Miami's in this win-now mode. Brian Flores is doing all the right things. If Hooker ends up passing some of these tests, not only will it be a very popular jersey down in Miami, it's also going to be a very good fit. So should Miami go out and sign Malik Hooker, I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. If healthy, the answer is yes. I mean, there's a lot of NFL teams out there that could use him. He's a great player, and nobody would ever dispute that. It's just, you are going to be rolling the dice a little bit. However, that's what 2020 is about, in my opinion. All these players sign these one-year contracts. I bet you could get him for a 1-year, probably prove-it deal, maybe even under $2 million. For a player of his caliber, it's absolutely worth it. Make sure you guys are staying up to date on all things going on around the NFL and the Miami Dolphins. Join the Noti Gang. Hit that big red button that says subscribe and turn on those notifications because guess what? If they do end up signing Hooker, I might just make it Hooker to Miami. That's just going to be what the push notification is, and it'll be popping up right on your phone. I guarantee you, so many people are like, oh, dude, I'm in there. I'm going to watch that right now. But if you're wondering why would I turn on my noties, when you get a text message, you see all that stuff in there, that's what they do. I want you guys to be notified, be the very first ones in the comments, letting you guys know always what's going on around the Miami Dolphins. So if you could, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. For the Miami Dolphins here, that means to me they could potentially be looking at a free safety position. So let's just say Malik Hooker ends up failing his physical, not 100% healthy. Who are some other safeties out there on the market that they could go out and potentially sign? The first name I'm going to bring up here is a veteran, Kenny Vaccaro. Is he a free safety like Hooker? No. Is he a strong safety that can also be a little bit more versatile? Played in the slot last year. Also did have a few reps at free safety as well. But he's at least going to be able to give you some veteran leadership. And he's a very physical player. Brian Flores likes physical guys. And when I talk about some of the things that Eric Rowe was able to bring, or a guy like Bobby McCain, no disrespect to those guys, they're not very good in coverage, but they're physical. And if you could go out and get a Kenny Vaccaro, who I also think would be a great mentor for Javon Holland, who can play all these different roles as well, that's what you're trying to do. Vaccaro's not your future. You drafted Holland number 36 overall in the second round. That's your future. And I think Vaccaro would be a great mentor to him. So 6 foot, 214-pounder, 83 tackles last year, 5 pass breakups. Major shout out to Newsbreak. If you guys haven't heard about them yet, then hey, listen up right now. Who out there likes to stay up to date what's going on in their city? Who out there likes to stay up to date what's going on with the weather? I mean, if you're looking for the latest on politics, food, pop culture, I would imagine you like sports. You're here. And if you want more sports content, go ahead, download the Newsbreak app. Wow, where am I from? Chatsports.com/Newsbreak is the link. It's also in the comments. It's also in the description. But I don't care what your city is. Like, I don't care if you live in Dallas, Texas. I don't care if you live in Minnesota or Las Vegas, Oakland. It does not matter. Head on over to chatsports.com/Newsbreak. Download the app where you can get sports content, politics, and actually even more videos from us. So when you go ahead and download the Newsbreak app, I want you to search for your favorite NFL team. So if you're a Cowboys fan, search Cowboys, then click follow the Cowboys report. If you're a Raiders fan, click on search Raiders, follow the Raiders report. Bears now. Like, if you know that we have a channel here, go ahead, download the app, and then give us a follow. Chatsports.com/Newsbreak. Let's just say, you know what, Vaccaro's a little bit bigger. We want to go with somebody that can cover a little bit more. Okay, I hear you. Trey Boston. Trey Boston was cut by the Carolina Panthers after one season on a 3-year deal. Now, he's coming off a down year in terms of, overall coverage. But back in 2019, this man had a 91 coverage grade on PFF. Like, that's top 3. Trey Boston, when he is healthy and when he's in the right system, he can be a very good defensive player. Now, his biggest issue, which has basically plagued him his entire career, missed tackles. Missed 28 tackles the last 2 years, right? But he's 6'1", 205 pounds. He's not necessarily all that old. He's only 28 years old. North Carolina guy, 95 tackles, 1 pick, 4 pass breakups. So if you don't want Vaccaro and you don't want Trey Boston, Malik Hooker's also, banged up here. Could you go out and find somebody else? The other name that I'm just going to throw out there, Bradley McDougal. Okay, McDougal spent last season with the New York Jets. He was only able to play in 7 games due to a shoulder injury, but another player who has the ability to play strong and free safety. One thing that I know that the Dolphins are going to continue to try to do is find these versatile players, because they know damn well, hey, our outside cornerbacks, they got shit on lockdown. If Noah Igbenogany can get it together, that's another cornerback that we drafted in round 1. If we can get our safeties to just absolutely shut down teams, this is going to be a really hard team to end up stopping. And when you also look at his size, I mean, this is a fun size player here. 6'1", 215 pounds. He had 36 tackles last season, no picks but 3 pass breakups. His ball skills, take a drink, they're not that great. But it's another player who's going to be able to add that physicality. And if I were to say, like, who would be plan A for me personally if I was Miami, I would say it'd be Kenny Vaccaro, Trey Boston, McDougal. But if Malik is healthy, that's the dude I would want. But go down in the comment section right now and let me know, does Miami need to sign a safety? Because there's going to be people out there that say, no, we got Holland. We're okay. Rowe, McCain, those guys did an okay job last year. We're going to rock and roll with them. And if that's, how you feel, hey, I got no problem with it. That's what Chat Sports is about, the interaction. But if you are saying, like, you know what, Mitch, yes, they need to go out and sign a safety, type 1 for yes. If you're sitting here saying no, well, guess what? Go down in the comments and type 2 for no.